how to function here without her. Like, what am I doing?
That was a rough time for me. I've realized that with filling my cup first, I'm able to be such a better mother. I'm more present. I'm more fun. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. If you don't know who I am, and you probably don't because I'm new around these parts, new here on the YouTube, my name is Jem, and I just want to share conversational pieces and topics that excite me and things that I wish somebody had told me that I didn't have to go through years of hardship or have to really invest my energy and time into learning. So if there's any piece of information that I share that happens to help out somebody else, that would make me so happy. So in this video, we're going to be talking a bit about motherhood and balancing being a mom, but also being a woman first, being a person first. I feel like it's something that's so challenging for all of us, especially in the early stages of motherhood. So I felt like it was such a great topic to lead with because it's something I would love to share from my experience and maybe help somebody else not feel, the way that I felt in the early stages of my motherhood journey. At the beginning, I definitely lost my sense of self. I feel like balancing being a mom and being a person outside of that is really hard in the beginning. I feel like we all experience this heavy sense of guilt whenever we do something for ourselves, anything, even the most minor thing. Instead of having your 3-minute shower, you decide to actually take a bath and just relax. And in those moments, sometimes it's so hard to actually relax because you're thinking, I could be folding laundry and prepping for tomorrow and putting clothes out. All these things that you could be doing start going through your mind. And these things completely take away from the experience of self-care and watering yourself. So it's really self-sabotaging. I felt in the first few months after I had my daughter, it was my responsibility to just be her provider, for love, nurturing, comfort. All I wanted to do was be a mom. And obviously that's amazing. It's such a good thing to have a child and want to be a mom. I think we just often lose ourselves in that. In those first few months, you're really learning each other, right? Those feeding cues, those I'm overstimulated or I'm understimulated cues. When they're uncomfortable, maybe they don't like the material of the clothes they're wearing. And in that time, your baby is also learning about you, right? Learning to trust you, that you're going to bring them comfort and you're going to nourish them. You're going to take care of them in this big, scary world outside of the uterus, right? And not only are they learning you, they're learning about the world outside of you, right? All the noises and lights and different temperatures outside of what they were used to for the last 9 months. After I had my daughter, I battled with postpartum anxiety, which I feel like a lot of people don't know what that is. We hear a lot about postpartum depression, but not so much about postpartum anxiety. And that was really tough for me because I felt like I was going crazy because I would sit there and just watch her sleep and people were like, oh, that's normal. No, but I didn't sleep. She makes a slight move and I'm up looking at her, which was really challenging. Obviously, not getting sleep is not good. Even though my daughter's 4 now, I still have those intrusive thoughts that came from my postpartum anxiety, such as her day-to-day safety, worrying about her future, even transitioning from co-sleeping to her sleeping in her own bed. I've gotten a lot better. I used to go and peek my head in and check on her every half hour, 45 minutes until I finally fell asleep. Now I'm okay, she's sleeping, she's fine, she's good. Oh, there's Mango. But even now, if she sleeps in her bed until the middle of the night or until the morning, I wake up in a panic and I go and check on her and it's still oh, are you breathing? I think that that's such a challenging thing to overcome. And any of my moms who even just have anxiety, you felt it. It's a lot. It's a lot. Even with co-parenting, at the beginning when she would spend more time at her dad's house, I had to keep myself occupied 24/7 in order to just not overthink and be overly concerned about her safety. Even though like her dad and that side of the family, I know that they're making sure that she's 100% safe. But it's just like in the back of your mind 24/7, just worrying thoughts about them. I feel like anytime that I wasn't with my daughter and I was sitting at home without her, that's when it got the worst. And I just didn't even know how to relax. I would be constantly go, cleaning, meal prepping, washing walls and baseboards just so that I could do something. When I had COVID and she stayed at her dad's for a couple weeks, I painted her room. I ordered paint to the house and I painted her room and redid her whole room because I was like, I don't know how to function here without her. What am I doing? That was a rough time for me. Obviously with time it got so much easier. I'm so grateful for the co-parenting balance that has been created to support my daughter, and she has such an amazing co-parenting circle. Honestly, she really does. Reclaiming your life as a person after becoming a parent is challenging, but it is so rewarding and so gratifying. I've realized that with filling my cup first, I'm able to be such a better mother. I'm more present, I'm more fun, I'm not on edge. Everything that I wanted to be in a mother, I was able to become once I figured out how to balance being a mom and being an individual. I used to consistently make excuses like I don't have time to do the things that I used to enjoy doing because I'm a mom now. Maybe I should change what I enjoy doing and have my interest more geared towards motherhood. And that became really hard for me because when you're not doing the things that water you, your forms of self-care and self-love consistently, you really get lost in this like routine, and it becomes really challenging. I think the biggest reminder is that it doesn't take away from your child to water yourself. It doesn't make you a bad mom if you need 5 minutes to regulate your emotions. In fact, I believe it makes you a better mom when you're able to show up and be present and not be like all over the place because you haven't sorted your stuff out first. If anything, I think that leading by example and showing them that it's good to water yourself and it's good to take care of yourself, I think it plants a seed inside of them for like self-care and self-love that I know I didn't see that growing up. That wasn't something that I was even aware of. It wasn't even aware that self-love or self-care existed. I was like, okay, my mom goes to get her nails done sometimes. But outside of that, what does she do on a daily basis to take care of herself? Never saw that. So I plan on instilling that in my daughter so that when she grows up, she realizes how important it is to take care of herself first, to water herself first. The best analogy for me is like when you get on an airplane and they have that whole rundown on, if the oxygen masks come down, put your mask on first and then help the person beside you because you're no good to the person beside you if you're passed out, right? And they can't help you. And I think that goes for our children as well. It's like we are no good to them if we are burnt out. We are no good to them if we are on edge and we are emotionally reactive. I think when we show up for ourselves first, we show them that we care about ourselves and we love ourselves and that we respect ourselves. And it also, now we're at a more calm state. We're more zen. It's easier for us to take care of our children and be emotionally supportive for them when we're more calm, when we are more relaxed. I think that's so important. I know at the beginning, I feel like in the first 2 years, it can be so hard to find time for yourself. But if you have a partner or a supportive family or somebody that you trust with your child, take the help. I'm sure they're offering it. I turned down help so much when my daughter was a baby, and I wish somebody would have said this to me. It doesn't make you a superhero to burn yourself out. You deserve that time to relax, even if it's taking a bath instead of a shower and asking your partner to sit with your baby, you know, so you can take a bath uninterrupted. Light some candles, put on some nice music to just really relax. Some other forms of self-care that I think are really important, especially when you have a newborn or a young baby, is going for a walk. Half the time you can go for that walk while they're sleeping. They can be in the stroller sleeping while you're going for that walk. I think like that is such an underrated tool. Or even take a nap. While your baby is sleeping, take that nap. Because those moments where you can just close your eyes and rest with your baby, I wish I took more naps. There's like, I would never get mad about a nap I took, especially when my daughter was little. I know sometimes it can be really hard to like accept help from friends and family, but if they've offered, accept it. They want to help. Allow them to help you. If your kids are a little older, like mine, she's 4 now, so I'll make time for myself when she goes to bed or in the morning before she gets up, because I usually have more time then and more energy. For the longest time, I would say, oh, I don't have time for my self-care routine. I don't have time to do these extra things for myself. But in all reality, in the time between when she would go to bed and when I would fall asleep, or when I would wake up in the morning and she would wake up in the morning, I had, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, sometimes 2 hours to myself. So instead of spending that like scrolling on social media, I was like, what can I do to make myself better? And I started reading and writing more, journaling, meditating more, and even squeezing in a workout in the morning. I had to take a little break because my bird was very vocal. I feel like the easiest way to create a new self-care routine, a new self-care habit, is to find the time that you'll actually have uninterrupted time. So this is your sign to do what you need to do to fill your cup, babe. Like, you deserve it. Start small and take baby steps. Choose one thing each day that's outside of your regular personal hygiene routine and start putting that on top of what you're already doing for yourself. So if you're brushing your teeth, it's like, okay, after I brush my teeth, I'm going to take a 5-minute meditation. Or after I brush my teeth, I'm going to do my makeup, you know? I feel like sometimes just doing your makeup just makes you feel so good. And it's not for anybody else. It's just to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I still got it. So if you've made it this far, this is the type of content we're gonna continue to do. Hit that subscribe button and get in that comment section. Tell me what you do for your self-care. What does your self-care routine look like? Especially if you have kids. How do you squeeze that in? Let's have a conversation about the different forms of self-care that we all do, and maybe give each other some ideas on how we can fill our cups.